Welcome you guys to halftime. This is your official mid-year reset for 2025. My name is Amy Youngren. I'm the founder of United, and I'm an agent and a team leader at Real Broker. You guys, United is a collaboration community. It's open to every brand and brokerage in the real estate industry. So no matter where you hang your license, everyone is welcome, and we're so glad that you guys are here today. So fun fact about me, I've always wanted to host an event in June, and I've always wanted to call it halftime. I love sports, and I equally love bringing sports analogies and references and things like that into business. And right now, you know, you might be feeling like great because you're ahead in your business. Maybe you're a little bit behind. Maybe you're just feeling the weight of all the market changes that have happened over the last couple of years, because there has been a lot of them. But regardless of where you're at, we've got you. Halftime is guaranteed to help you take control of the last half of this year, so that you can end 2025 exactly where you set out to at the beginning of this year. And I just wanted to say, notice guys, my emphasis on the word you. Today, we've lined up some of the most impactful speakers in our industry right now. Like, each one of them has tactical strategies and advice, things that are going to help you come back or win this last half. But you and me, we have to do the work. So I want to encourage you, turn off your notifications, stay focused, take notes. Your halftime comeback, it starts now. So 2 quick housekeeping items. Number 1, please tag us and share your wins on social media. We want to hear your takeaways, your wins and things like that on social. Tag United Community. And then also, please do me a favor, drop a 1 in the chat if you are ready for halftime, so that we can get started right now. Okay, amazing, awesome, love it. Let's get rolling. Joe, I'm going to give it over to you.
Yeah, so Aim, you know, I love this idea. We talked about this as you were kind of coming up with it. And I was watching a video yesterday from Grant Cardone and Ryan Perneda. Hold your opinions, everybody. But anyways, they were just talking about, we've been through the hardest 2 years of real estate any of us have ever experienced in our real estate careers. Not because prices aren't there. They are. Like, I check my home value all the time. My home value is not decreasing. But the thing that's killing our businesses, if we're letting it, is that the number of transactions have dropped. And so when you brought this up, I was like, this is such a great idea. So many of us do business planning in November. We get all hyped up in December. We kick it off in January, and then we let the market happen. This event, as you said, is about us taking back control. It's not, 2025 is not over. We can still have the best years of our career, the best year of our career, but we needed a reset.
Yeah.
And so our first speaker is somebody that you brought to me, where I think originally I was on their podcast. So Emma and Ryan run a podcast.
Yeah.
And it was, you know, you get on these things, and you just, hey, can you be on a podcast? And you're like, sure, I'll be on. And then you just don't know. Within probably 5 minutes of Emma, us kind of going back and forth, I was like, dude, she's legit. And so she's spoken for us. She's a 7-figure real estate agent. She owns a company called Sales Genius, which basically does marketing for real estate agents, which we're getting back to some of the old school, like, lead generation principles, which I love. She's been in the industry for over a decade. She's spent a lot of time studying marketing. She really, I think, is passionate about marketing and what it can do and needs to do for real estate agents. She's learned directly from some of the best marketers in the industry. I'm going to butcher this name, Emma. Jason Fillet. Anyways, I'm not even going to try.
You're good. You're close.
There we go. And Perry Belcher. She's shared stages. She's a public speaker. She's been on stage with Sharon and other huge names. Today, she's going to talk about creating the easiest way for you to get more clients the rest of the year, because that's what it all comes down to. If you want to change your 2025, you need more clients to talk to have appointments with, to eventually put into contract and ultimately close more deals. So with that, we'll turn some time over to Pace Base herself, Emma Pace.
Thank you guys so much. I'm excited to be here. I have to admit that I agree with the sentiment. The market has been a little bit more challenging than I think many of us would have liked. There's some agents out there that are having the best year ever, but there's a lot of us that are still trying to figure it out, right? And so today, what I really want to do with you guys is walk you through. Just let me know if you can see my screen. We good on that, guys? Yeah, Joe, Amy, we're good with that?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Perfect.
So what I want to walk you guys through today is what I call the funnel acceleration strategy. So I'm going to go through basically 3 micro budget strategies with you guys today to help you get deals for the rest of 2025. So we're doing this right halfway through the year, and my objective today is to get you guys deals before the end of the year with one of the 3 strategies that I'm going to teach you today. Okay, so like Amy and Joe said at the beginning, we're kind of facing this problem, right? We're halfway through the year for a lot of us. Transaction volume is down, meaning business is down. The market has been tough. When business is down, marketing budgets feel like a fortune. And it makes us feel broke. And so there's a lot of agents out there right now that are unsure of how they can generate new business. They're praying for referrals to come through, but they know that transaction volume is down, and they're basically just like crossing their fingers that the phone is going to ring. So my objective for you guys today is to change that so that you leave here feeling confident with the strategy that you can implement right away. So we have to go fast today. We have a lot to get through in 25 minutes, so I want to give you the game plan. We're going to go through why most agents are failing right now. It's probably not what you think. 3 different strategies that you guys can use on a micro budget. And when I say micro budget, all of the strategies that I'm going to teach you today cost less than $500. All right. And then I want you guys to leave here picking one of these 3 strategies so that you have a game plan of what to do in the next 72 hours. And the one thing that I want to tell you guys right now, what I'm going to teach you is like Joe said, I've been studying marketing for a long time. I've done a lot of different campaigns. I've tried a lot of different stuff. I'm not gatekeeping anything from you guys today. The stuff that I'm teaching you guys today is what we are actually doing for our clients in our marketing agency this month. So the stuff that I'm showing you is working in June of 2025. All right. So I want you guys just to drop me a 1 in the chat if you guys are excited to learn these strategies. Some of them you probably have never seen before. And I just want you guys to know, don't worry about taking notes because I am going to give you all of the notes. I'm going to give you the scripts today, and I'm going to give you a summary of all of the strategies for free at the end, and I'm not even going to ask you for your email address. So are we good on that? Yeah?
So there you go, guys. You don't even have to listen to me. You don't have to take notes. You just have to listen intently to Emma.
Hell yeah. All right, let's do it. Okay, so we're gonna hop into it right now. We got a lot of stuff to go through. So these are gonna be the 3 micro budget strategies that we're going through. Number 1, this first one is, I think, like the sleeper hit of all of them. I'm going to be honest with you in that this one kind of takes the longest to get going, but I think is the most impactful, and it's what I call strategic brand awareness. All right? So it's how do we make you guys become a local celebrity in your local markets? All right? Now, does anybody ever wonder this? You can just drop me a yes in the chat. It's like, when I call my leads, why don't these people call me back? Does anybody think that? Yeah? No? Nobody? Everybody? Okay. All right. I got some people. All right. The brutal answer is, and I love you guys, but the brutal answer is they don't know who you are. They don't know that you exist. They know nothing about you. And there's no reason for them to give you a call back because you're not a real person in their mind. I'm sorry. Okay. So I'm going to give you marketing 101. This is kind of the lead funnel that all agents, every agent deals with. Okay. So we have top of funnel, which are the leads that are probably 6 to 18 months away. These are like your coldest leads, okay? Middle of funnel are the people who are probably going to move in the next like 3 to 6 months. By the way, this is probably like 80% of people that come through like an online lead gen campaign are at top of funnel. Middle is probably about 15%, and the bottom is probably about 5%, okay? So top of funnel are 6 months plus away. Middle, 3 to 6 months. Bottom are the people who are like ready to move right now. That's what our funnel looks like. The objective, you guys know this as well as I do, is to move them down to the bottom of the funnel, okay? Now, these are where the lead sources are for these stages of the funnel. So top of funnel is going to be like your sign call people, the people that you're door knocking, your online leads, etc. They're going to be a little bit colder, a little more top of funnel. Middle of funnel will be like people who come to open houses because they've put their butt in a car and they've driven there and they're showing that there's intent in the market. People who have requested a home evaluation, or whatever, like an AI automated valuation for their home, etc. They're a little bit probably closer to the bottom. But the bottom of funnel people are where you're getting your repeat and referral, okay? Now, the challenge is that most agents really only know how to work with bottom of funnel leads. And so because they don't know how to move people from the top to the bottom, the people that are in your databases or the people that you're generating the leads from in these lead sources kind of get ignored after they're in your CRM or you get their contact information. You're like, I don't know what to say to them, so I'm just going to leave them alone, okay? And so the challenge is you're fighting for 5% of the market. Well, 95% of the market goes basically ignored by you. So how do we stay in front of them? Well, if you only know how to convert the people at the bottom, it's a little bit of a trap, because if we look at the lead sources, it's mainly repeat and referral. So when someone actually gets down here, they kind of usually already have an agent in mind. And if they don't know you, then usually they negotiate harder on commission. You've got to like give up a little bit more, and they usually have a backup option. So if you make a mistake, they're pretty easy to switch if they don't have the relationship with you. And so most agents operate on this, what I call like the one and done mistake, right? They send one email and they think it's enough. They run one Facebook ad, they think it's enough. They do one market update video, they think it's enough. They call someone one time, they don't answer, they think it's enough. The challenge is it's not enough, because it takes 7 to 12 times before someone remembers your name. This is like my, fourth time maybe coming back to speak for you guys? There's still some of you guys that have probably seen me 4 times. You're like, I know that face, but I don't know the name, right? It takes 7 to 12 times before someone's like, okay, you're a real person to me, and I remember you. The challenge is, and here's the thing, this is why like YouTube works so well, right? People spend a lot of time with you, you're in front of them frequently, etc. I think that creating content all of the time is exhausting. Is anybody there with me? Like, I find it very difficult to be consistent with. Are you guys consistent with it? You guys struggle with it? What are you guys doing for content right now? Yeah, YouTube? Okay.
It is exhausting. My wife made me watch a movie last night, Emma, called Another Simple Favor or whatever. The first one was actually pretty good. The second one was super cheesy. And the main character on there's a content creator, and I was actually getting exhausted for her, watching her constantly create. It was like the plot line was stupid, but she was constantly creating content, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that looks exhausting.
I find it exhausting, right? I know that, like, here's the thing. It's exhausting, but you have to do it. Like, you know that you have to do it. So this solution that I'm about to show you right now is a happy medium, all right? So what if you guys can move them down funnel from top to bottom of funnel before they even connect with you, all right? This is how you do it. This is the exact strategy. This is step-by-step. Working right now costs very little money. You're going to record 3 to 5 high value pieces of content, okay? So you have to create some content, but you don't have to do it every day, all right? You create 3 to 5. What you're gonna do is you're gonna run those 3 to 5 pieces of high value content as an ad, okay? And you're only gonna run $1 to $2 a day to that video. And and I do this on Meta, just so you guys know. You can also do it on on YouTube as well. But what you're gonna do is ask Meta to show these videos at this budget to your target audience. And so you can even take your best performing like reels or things that have done really well from you from an organic perspective, and all you're gonna do is spend a little bit of money to show this to your target audience, all right? So just so you guys know, for our client thing, they don't even have to be highly produced. They're usually just like talking heads, walking, selfie videos, and these things are absolutely killing it right now. And the reason why people are answering their phone calls, they're opening their emails more, etc., is because of the psychology behind this. They have what is called the familiarity bias. So people often choose or are more receptive to things that they know, okay? Second thing is the authority bias. When you're consistently in front of someone talking about a particular topic, people automatically assume that you're an authority in that space because they see you everywhere talking about that topic. Third thing is the law of reciprocity. If you give them, and I think the thing that just to go back here for 1 second, the content has to be amazing. It's what Alex Hermosi has made his entire business off is give your best stuff away for free. Because you've given them great value, there's this law of reciprocity where it's like, if I'm going to go and interview a couple of agents, I should at least interview this person because they've helped me or they've taught me something. And the last thing is we all want to be that top of mind realtor. This is just constantly getting you to stay in front of your target audience. All right. And so my favorite slide of all the slides I'm going to show you today is I'm not a regular bus bench. I'm a cool bus bench. Bus benches worked well because people have in the back of their mind, if someone's face is on a bus bench, they must be doing well in business because they've got additional revenue to be spending on this particular type of marketing. So they automatically just make that psychological association. This is like the 2025 version of the bus bench. And what happens is your video is shown to all funnel stages. So it's shown to people who are colder audience, middle, bottom of funnel. They're constantly learning from you. And so what you'll see with this is your open rates are going to go up. People are going to start answering your phone call more. They're going to start reaching out to you randomly on DMs and you won't even know why, but it's constantly because you're staying in front of them. And so to give you a very brief overview of how this has worked for our client, this is Miles. We spent $381 showing this particular video here. Normally he gets 500 plays on his Instagram videos on average. We spent $381. He got 30,000 plays on this video. It cost about a cent per view. He was at a concert. This woman, this is like last month, walked up to him at the concert, tapped him on the shoulder, said, "Are you Miles?" He said, "Yep." She goes, "You're my future real estate agent." He's like, "What?" She's like, "I see your ads everywhere. I can't believe you're here at this concert," and did a buyer consultation, is actively working with this person. Off $381 in ad spend because he became like this local celebrity to her. She's actively looking for real estate. Facebook knows that, shows his videos to her. She taps him on the shoulder. He has a client at a concert, never even engaged her. She reached out to him. Okay? So that's how that works. Take your best pieces of content, run them as ads for a very low budget, and stay in front of everybody. That's number one. Okay.
Can I ask you two real quick questions?
Yeah.
Number one, are you running multiple ads on multiple videos at a time? And number two, what do you set your duration for when you kick off an ad?
I run them forever. So what I'll do is I'll run the 3 to 5 and I'll see which one gets me the lowest cost per view or the things that people are engaging with the most. And I'll shut the ones off that aren't doing well. If I find there's like 2 or 3 that are working really well, I'll keep them on. What you can see here. So you just
have constant, you'll have 3 to 5 videos running, and I love that. To be honest, I'm learning something right now. You guys are gonna get blown up on Instagram from Joe Herrera Reels soon. So you're running 3 to 5 different ads at a time.
Yep.
But low budget, like $2, $3, $4 a piece. Just yeah, Danny said
$1 a day per video.
Okay. Yeah, I love that.
$1 a day per video,
and you always have 3 to 5 going. They're just constantly going in the background. So guys. I mean, you're spending $5 to $10 a day. It's not going to kill you. And that I think that's a great idea, Emma.
You'll see here, like he has a ton of social.
Just have stuff. One less Starbucks.
Yeah, well, honestly.
Or just don't drink Starbucks at all. Or have Amy get you a double blended double chocolate chip if you don't drink coffee. It's really good.
There you go.
I still can't believe that's your drink, actually.
Just sugar and milk. I'm basically like Buddy the Elf of Starbucks.
Sugar in a cup with a straw.
Yeah, so do one of those less. You'll be healthier and you'll get more clients.
Exactly.
Right? But you'll see here, he has a lot of social proof at the bottom. So the longer that we've been running this video, more and more of his clients and the people that are in his CRM have seen his ads and left. You can see all these comments and people are sharing it. They're like, Miles is the best Miles is the best real estate agent, blah, blah, blah. So now he's getting all this social proof underneath his video to validate his experience and people are liking it. So if something is working, just let it run. Don't shut it off. His is kind of like, it's like marinating in positive reinforcement the longer and we let it run for him.
Always video, Emma?
Yeah, usually, because I want them to know you. Like his is like a founder story video of like why he got into real estate. He loves music, etc.
Yeah.
But most of the one, it's mainly I want them to know you, your personality, about you. So video works really well. Cool.
And how long should the videos be? Tell me.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask that.
Ours are usually between 15 to 45 seconds, depending on what the topic is going to be. Guys, think about this. Make the best possible piece of content you can as an Instagram reel and run it as a video. If it works really well as an Instagram reel, make it an ad. That's the simplest
So,
solution.
question from Nancy. I think this is a good question. So I've always reverse engineered my stuff where I'm like, what's the fish I'm trying to catch? Okay, cool.
Yep.
Let me get the right bait.
Yep.
Would you recommend what would I want people to think about me as a real estate practitioner and then reverse engineer that, like almost like a dating profile? Are you
So yeah,
picking
we'll
hot
usually
topics
do
to,
a founder story. So about you, why you got in real estate, like a little bit about you, right? What makes you stand out? What's different about you? And then in terms of the other types of content, again, you want to give your best stuff away. If you have I'm giving you guys my best 3 possible strategies right now to get you guys leads. And it's like, I'm not gatekeeping it. So you guys should do the exact same thing. If you have the 3 best possible strategies to sell someone's house in a slow market, or to be able to help someone buy a house at an extreme discount, or you have something that's working amazing for you, you should give that away in a video. You should tell people how to do it, why they do it, case studies, how it's working, and give that stuff away so that people, this is what you want them to do. You want them to watch 30 seconds and go, holy shit, that was the best video I've watched all day. I can't believe the person gave that to me for free.
all right,
Right?
Joseph wants us to let you continue with your presentation. So go ahead, Emma. Let's see what else you
Okay.
got.
You guys got the first strategy, okay? Make an amazing video, run it as an ad for $1 or $2. Doesn't cost a lot, will get you amazing results over time. The second one that I'm going to show you is what is called forced re-engagement, okay? So these are for the people that are already in your database that you guys have written off and you're like, these are dead leads, okay? How many of you guys have people that are in your database that you would like to re-engage, but you don't know what to say and you don't know how to get them to re-engage, and you're like, I spent all this money on leads and I've never converted any of them. Anybody in that situation? Just drop me a 1 if you're in that situation. Yeah?
Everybody can be.
Okay.
All of us.
All right. So right now, if you guys have 1,500 contacts in your CRM and you've sent them an email and less than 50 people have responded to an email, I pretty much guarantee you the strategy that I'm going to show you will make you 10 grand this quarter. Okay? So I don't even need to go through the problem because you guys know what it is. People sign up, you talk to them for 30 days, and then you let them die. All right? Real estate agents get caught in this trap. I only want new leads because I don't know what to say after somebody comes in my CRM, okay? We need to stop that. You've already paid for these leads, so we need to get a return on these leads, and this is how we're going to do it. This is, by the way, this is killing it right now. Killing it. A VIP giveaway that's exclusive to your database. Okay, so you can say, I'm doing this giveaway. You can even do this on social if you want to. I'm going to do this giveaway to my database. If you'd like to get into my database so that you can register for the giveaway, give me your email address, okay? You're going to do a giveaway. It's going to drive all the dormant leads that are in your database and allow them to come back to the top to re-engage. And most importantly, it's going to reduce your call reluctance because you're going to have a great reason to call, and I'm going to give you guys the script of exactly what to say when someone registers for the giveaway, okay? Now, again, this is why this works. Reciprocity, you're giving them the opportunity to win something or to be able to get something of value. There's exclusivity, like you can only get this thing if you're in my database. So it's like there's actually value in staying on this person's email list and not unsubscribing. And you have a high touch marketing campaign where you can reach out to them 3 or 4 times so you can stay in front of them and collect 3 or 4 of those 7 or 12 touch points we talked about before. I'm going to give you the ROI comparison right now for a $200 campaign. If you go after new leads on Meta, and you just want to get name, email, phone number, it costs you about $10 a lead is what it'll cost you. So for $200, you get 20 new leads. If you would like to ask somebody qualifying questions, meaning when are you looking to move, why are you looking to move, etc. So a little bit more information beyond just name, email, phone number. That's usually going to cost you $15 to $18. So for $200, you can get 20 basic leads or 11 to 13 better quality leads. But you don't know what to say when they come through, okay? So let's look on the database side. For the same $200 marketing spend right now, well, the market is tough. Assuming you have 1,500 leads, I see this, we've done this probably 30 times in the last 2 months. 60 to 80 people out of your database should register for the giveaway. So it's going to cost you $2.50 to about $3 to get a re-engaged lead out of the same marketing spend. And by the way, all of these people, every single person is answering qualifying questions. What is your current living situation? Why are you looking to move? When are you looking to move? Whatever questions you want to ask them, they'll fill out 3 to 4. You should have 60 to 80 new people that you can call. And so you're getting 7 times the number of engaged leads or people that are raising their hand for the exact same $200 spend, but everybody wants to go after the new leads. Stop going after the new leads until you've exhausted the leads that are in your database. This, I promise you, is one of the best ways that I've seen. So this is how you guys are going to do it. You're going to open your CRM. You're going to tag all of the people that haven't engaged with you. You're going to write them an email, and you're going to say, I'm doing a giveaway for whatever it's going to be. We've done sporting event tickets, we've done spas recently, we've done restaurant gift cards, whatever you guys want to do. Usually $250 is like a good value. What you're going to do then is you'll send the email, and the email is going to have a link, and it's going to drive them to, you don't even have to do a landing page, you could do a Google form that says, these are the draw details, give me your contact information, answer these questions. And then once they fill out the form, you're going to call them to confirm their entry and discuss all of the answers for the questions that they had answered, okay? And then you can also call them again after you've done the draw to say either you won or you didn't win. This was so successful, I want to do it again next quarter. What should I give away next time? So you have an email touch point. You have 2 calls. That's 3, and then you can follow up with them again with another email, with the post-draw email, etc. I have the script for you guys here, but we need to go fast, so I'll give you the QR code with the exact script of what to say after they sign up, okay? An example of that right now, I was running this week. We spent $350, $200 gift card for this client, and we end up running ads to this as well, $100. She got 154 leads. 54 of them came from the Facebook campaign. 100 of them came from her existing database. Of the 154 people, 56 people have said 9 of them are actively looking to move right now. 16 of them want to move by the end of 2025, and 31 of them said they were looking to move in the next year or 2. Okay? So based on her conversion rate and her average commission, off of the $350 investment to run the campaign, she's going to have about $250K in GCI from opportunities in 7 days with a $350 spend. Just from a giveaway. So basic, guys, but is absolutely killing it right now. Okay? Last one is how to get free leads. This isn't a micro budget strategy. You just don't have to pay for it. I'm going to go through it really fast. How to get somebody else to pay for your leads. Most of us send a ton of leads to our mortgage brokers, to our lawyers or attorneys if you're in the States, but we're usually generating the leads, and then we're giving other vendors the leads that we generate, and we usually don't get anything in return, okay? Maybe you get a couple, but it's not fair in terms of the way that the leads go. We send them way more leads. So enter the most badass strategy of all time. It's what I call the referral flip strategy, and it's where you're going to co-brand an event, a webinar, much like we're on right now, or you can do it live, and you're going to ask your partners to pay for the marketing expenses in exchange for exposure and in exchange for a speaking event or a speaking slot at the event. And the last thing you're going to do is you're going to take care of the marketing so that you can write promo emails and have exposure to their entire database. So this is how it's going to work. You're going to pitch somebody. I'll give you an example in a second here, but like our clients did a one with a financial planner. The financial planner didn't know how to do any marketing or get people to come to the event or anything. So they were like, you pay for it, we'll do all the work. It's like a joint venture in real estate. Using other people's money to buy real estate. It's using other people's money to grow your business and get leads. They pitched the partner, they planned the event, they did the marketing. And then what they did was when people registered for the event, in the terms and conditions, they just said, we're allowed to share the lead list with any of our partners or the other vendors on the event. And so everybody shared the lead list. They did the work. Well, actually, we did the work. They didn't do anything because they're our clients. We did the work. And the partner paid for the event, and this is what it looked like. Our clients had $0 in ad spend. Their financial planner spent $520 on ads. We got 24 people to register and come to the event, and out of the event, they got two really high quality listing appointments. One of the families wanted to list 3 properties with them. The other family wanted to list 1. So they got 4 potential listings out of $520 that their partner paid for. And the average home value in their region is $2 million. So they got $8 million in listing presentations out of a $0 ad spend because they got somebody else to pay for the ads in exchange for being a part of the event. And I'll give you the script here as well, because I know I got to wrap up. We're running out of time here, but I'll give you guys the script on exactly how to pitch the partner so that they can cover the ad spend. All you have to do is set up the marketing and structure the actual event itself. So those are the 3 strategies. Brand awareness, $1 to $2 a day, run the videos. Forced re-engagement is doing the giveaways. Again, a $250 budget for your actual giveaway will usually get you around a $2 re-engaged lead from your existing database. And the last one is the free lead strategy, which is leveraging all of your partners to pay for your marketing spend and sharing the lead list with them. All right. So what I would like you guys to do is pick one of those strategies and implement it. Like I said at the beginning, I promise you'd be under $500. You could probably do each of them for under $200. And if you guys want the scripts and you guys want the notes, you can scan that. I've done a summary of everything for you, and I've given you the scripts of what to say on the phone to the giveaway people and how to actually pitch the partners to get them to pay for the marketing spend.
So good, Emma. Okay, guys, grab a picture of that QR code because that means you're going to get all the scripts and the notes that Emma just shared with us. And I think the key in all of it was what you just said a second ago. Pick one strategy. Don't get overwhelmed by trying to implement all of them. Just pick one and actually execute on it. We talked about at the very beginning that we are the ones that have to take control of what the outcome is going to be for the last half. And this is the perfect way to start. So pick one of these low micro budget strategies that are going to get you re-engagement and more opportunity with leads that are already in your database without having to spend $1 bazillion trying to get high hanging fruit, and just pick one and execute on it this week. Emma, thank you so much.
So guys, good, Emma. Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
So good. Grab that picture, guys. Okay. Thank you, Emma.
Ciao, guys.
All right, guys. I'm really excited for our next speaker. Craig Ballantyne is a productivity powerhouse, and believe it or not, he is known as the world's most disciplined man. He is a self-made ex-farm kid turned serial entrepreneur who's built not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, 5 7-figure businesses. He's a best-selling author. He helps entrepreneurs make more money while working less. Drop a 1 in the chat if you want to make more money while working less. Today, Craig leads the Early to Rise community. He hosts global workshops, coaches entrepreneurs to master discipline, clarity, and systems so that they can build big businesses and big lives without burning out. And you guys, after reading Craig's book, The Dark Side of Discipline, he was my top draft pick to speak at halftime. So I'm so honored that he said yes. I'm going to give it over to you, Craig.
Thank you so much. I got drafted. That's amazing. Hey, listen, everybody, I'm super excited here. And I couldn't agree more with Amy about the biggest message from Emma's presentation, which is pick the one thing. Pick the one thing. I was joking with my team the other day that everybody loves the idea of The One Thing by Gary Keller and Essentialism by Greg McKeown. They love the idea and they love to talk about it and they love to share it. But when it comes to our lives and when it comes to our businesses, oh, it is so hard to actually commit to that principle. But it really is the key to success. So what we're going to do today is we are going to do one simple exercise that is going to help you get that level 10 discipline in your life to become insanely productive and build your business without missing out on family time. This is my crew. It's my wife, Michelle, and those 3 kids. Those are all under 3 years old. And so we have a very busy household, but we get a lot of work done because of the system that I'm about to share with you. So in this presentation, what I want to do in our short time together is I want to give you the #1 rule of social media. And my goodness, when I learned this rule a couple of years ago, it really just completely was a light bulb moment and helped me avoid wasting time on social media. And I know how hard that is. I'm also going to talk about why being a wild horse in your business can hurt you. The wild horse, which we all are. I'm a wild horse. Amy's a wild horse. You're a wild horse. And it's our genius and our gift. But if we don't corral it, then it can really be our destruction. And that's really how you're sabotaging your brand, your business. So again, today we are going to help you get insanely productive. And it's really coming down to the one question that I'm going to share with you. But first, I want to share this rule of social media. And I got this from one of my mentors and friends, a guy named Joe Polish, who runs a program in the United States called Genius Network. And he said, use social media, but don't let social media be used on you. And I think that is a very important concept. It's a writer downer. It's that important. It's a writer downer. It's a give to your team. It's a give to your friends. It's a give to your kids, right? Because the kids, those are the ones that are getting the social media used on them the most. And what does this mean? This means that social media, to me, I'm not on social media. I'm on business media. I'm on business media. I'm not on social media to be social, to make new friends. I got lots of friends. I got 3 kids under 3. I don't have time for any friends. And so I'm there to produce content. So if you're going to use any particular strategy on social media, you pick that one, you go hardcore with it, you produce your content that goes out to people. And you are a producer. You are using social media as business media. That's how it is meant to be for our businesses, for our ability to get new listings, new clients, build our network, and not to consume. Because when you consume, man, the time goes by. When we had just 2 kids, my wife was pregnant with a third. We were living in North Vancouver, and we were putting the kids to bed. And this is a time I went through a phase where I didn't have control of my phone. My phone had control of me at a certain time of day. So, if you have young kids, they fall asleep on you. And you're like, oh man, I just worked so hard to get the kid to fall asleep on me. I'm not going to move. And so I'm like, what am I going to do? Well, after about 10 minutes of, really enjoying the moment, you're like, now I'm kind of bored. And so I'd get my phone and I would scroll social media. And 20 minutes would go by and my eyes were dry because I hadn't blinked. And I was probably a little bit upset. It didn't help my sleep. And I made that mistake of letting social media be used on me. So I curated my social media content. I stopped using certain platforms and I only use business media today. So please take that into account because it leads to my next point, which is people's biggest problems today is that we are very reactive to the phone. And I don't know if you've ever seen these ice bath videos by this guy. His name is like Ogie Bagelthorpe or something, and he's from Iceland, and he's a student at USC, and he has over 100 million views on one of these variations of this video. And I always make fun of ice baths. I think they're like the soy latte of productivities. They're just, look at these girls. They're like barely up to their kneecaps in ice baths. And, it's not really getting any benefit. And this guy comes in and he dunks his head underwater and whoa, he's the cool guy. And so it has 100 million views. And so people see these ice bath videos and they go, oh, well, that guy's got 100 million views and he's got 22,000 likes on this. I should be doing this and I should be going and videoing this. And like, what are you really doing the ice bath for? You're doing it for the video you put on social media. You're doing it for the benefits that it supposedly gives you. And so people are simply making their decisions of what they're going to do today, how they're going to run their lives by being reactive to their phone. They're letting social media be used on them. And then what they do is they end up chasing all of these things. Instead of following Emma's excellent advice of choose one thing, now you have 9 things you have to do in your morning routine. Now you're in 3 different challenges. You're in the 100 push-ups in 100 days challenge. You're in 75 hard challenge. You're in read a book a week challenge. These are all good things, but the good is getting in the way of the great, and that is what is destroying your success. The good is getting in the way of the great, and that is what is destroying your success. And so that is where we need to step back.
Craig, can I just, and I'm sure you've watched it, just for anyone who hasn't, I tried to post it, but I don't think it worked. The Social Dilemma on Netflix talks a lot about exactly what Craig's talking about, is that we as a society are allowing social media to happen to us rather than leveraging it for our own, business practices. So if anybody wants to Netflix and chill, check out the Social Dilemma. You'll learn a lot about what he's talking about.
Thank you very much, Joe. It truly is, a dilemma. It's a paradox that we have this social media and it's actually fighting against us. Because as I often say, in the last 20 years, we have sent our greatest minds, our smartest minds out to Silicon Valley, and we put our smartest minds on the problem of making us addicted to our phones. And so if you think that you're going to wake up in the morning and you're going to, with your willpower and discipline, outsmart 10,000 PhDs from MIT whose entire job is to get you addicted to your phone, you're not going to win that battle. You have to build a fence around yourself. You have to curate your social media, and you have to go with that mindset. You have to change the rules of the game around how you use your phone. And I understand how you use your phone in this industry is you're on your phone a lot because people are texting, people are WhatsApping, people are sending you messages on 19 different platforms, and I understand it. But you can curate it, you can block the notifications, you can take back control of this phone and own your time. Now, we are white knuckling wild horses, and what that means is we hear great presentations from people like Emma, and we're like, oh, and I mean, wait till Neel gets a hold of you, man. I've seen that guy present, and it's amazing. You are an adult and you have to choose. Just like when you go to the buffet in Las Vegas, you can't put 9,000 things on the plate. That's not how it works. You're going to feel horrible after and you're not going to have a great meal. Instead, you have to curate your plate. Just like you have to curate what you're going to do in your business. You have to be wise enough. You have to ask around. You have to get the mentorship from Amy and say, hey, Amy, here are the 3 things I'm deciding between for my social media. Based on what you know about me, based on my followings here, what do you think is the right strategy so I can go all in on the one that's going to produce the greatest leverage for me so that I'm not a slave to my phone? Because years ago, I used to run these presentations with a guy named Bedros Keuilian, and the guy in the pink shirt beside me. There's Sharon Saratza, a pink shirt, famous guy in the real estate space on the far right. I'm doing these presentations with Bedros. We're doing it for these personal trainers that you see on the other part of the page. And this is where I came up with the analogy of the wild horse, is that every year we were doing this thing called the Fitness Business Summit, and all these personal trainers would come, and they were broke. They would come to this event that was sales and marketing. They were there to learn how to get more clients. And they would come in, and every year, we did it for 10 years in a row. Every year I'd look out, and there's James, Johnny, and Jenny sitting in the same seat. And I'm looking at them, wow, they look fantastic this year. They must be 8% body fat, but they got $8 in their bank account. And we would do all this sales and marketing presentation stuff, and they would talk to the other personal trainers in the break time about, what workouts, what diet you using. And sure enough, at the end of the event, James, Johnny, and Jenny would go home, and they'd put all the sales and marketing stuff up on the shelf, never to look at it again, even though that's their level 10 problem in life. And they would take all the training and nutrition information that they learned from other trainers, and they would put a level 10 effort into it. And so next year they'd come back and I go, there's James, Johnny, and Jenny again sitting in the same seats. And my goodness, they're 7% body fat this year. And they got $7 in their bank account because they put a level 10 effort into their level 1 problem. They didn't need to get in better shape. They were already in good shape. And they put a level 1 effort into their level 10 problem of learning sales and marketing. And so they woke up in the middle of the night at 2 o'clock with anxiety all throughout the year, not because they were in bad shape, they were in great shape, but because they didn't put a level 10 effort into their level 10 problem. And that's the problem that everybody is suffering from these days, because what I call the dark side of discipline, which is chasing these challenges. You don't need to work out twice a day. That's like, if you're running a business and you got kids, you don't need to work out twice a day. That is like way down on your list. If you're working out twice a day, that just means to me that you're wasting time and you're not taking your problems seriously.
So Craig, I've never heard that. Don't give level 10 effort to level 1 problems, and don't give level 1 effort to level 10 problems. And
I'll walk you through those in a second, man. I'll give you concrete examples.
Why are people doing that? You think social media is a big reason why?
The social media is like the Band-Aid on it. The cause is deeper. And what's the cause? We want reward, right? We want reward. And so most people, and I'm going to talk about this in a second because I'm going to talk about my marriage in a second. Most people's biggest problems in their lives stem from what? They are avoiding a difficult conversation. a difficult conversation in their marriage, a difficult conversation with their work colleagues, a difficult conversation with the real estate company they're involved in, the difficult conversation with their client, difficult conversation with a lawyer, difficult conversations. Nobody likes to have a difficult conversation. And that's where your level 10 problems in life. On the flip side, man, it's so easy to go and start a YouTube channel, go and start a podcast, go and start a new Instagram page, go and start doing this, go and start doing that. And you get immediate feedback and an immediate reward. I coach a lot of entrepreneurs, and man, if I had $5, I gotta say $5, not a nickel anymore, because I want to get some real money here. If I had $5 for every entrepreneur who had a level 10 problem, like a burning in business, and who was like, I'm gonna go start a YouTube channel, man, I'd have a lot of money because what are they doing there? They are avoiding the level 10 problem, the difficult conversation with their spouse, whatever it is. Because it's hard, man. Nobody wants to sit through that. And even if you do the conversation, it's not like the problem's fixed overnight. To fix your marriage, it's going to take 6 months, 12 months, 18 months. It starts with that hard conversation. But I can start a YouTube channel today, and I can get a YouTube video up, and I can get some viewers and subscribers in 24 hours. And so humans take the path of least resistance. The average person does. But we have to fight that. We have to fight that and stay focused. And so the ultimate definition of discipline is this. It is identifying your level 10 problem and putting a level 10 effort into it. And everything else is entertainment. At worst, it's a perverse form of procrastination is what I call it. Because again, the people on this event, people attending here, you are high performers. You're not going home and getting drunk and watching Netflix and eating a bag of chips every night. That's not what's holding you back. What's holding you back is that you are trying to do 100 good things and you're not putting enough effort into the one great thing. The greatest opportunity that you have in your personal and professional lives is not getting the attention that it needs, because that thing is hard. And it's a whole lot easier to do 100 good things and get a little dopamine hit than it is to do the one hard thing and fix it. It's just human nature. And so what I want you to do is dedicate yourself to this one little exercise that I'm going to take you through. So everybody, you got a little piece of paper down, you can put it on your notes on your phone. I want you to identify your biggest problem or opportunity in your life. Okay, so your level 10 problem in your life, your level 10 opportunity in your business. It can be looked at both ways. It can be looked at as a problem, the thing that you wake up in the middle of the night, you're like, oh my gosh, I got to fix this. I don't know how, but I got to fix this. The thing that is causing you anxiety, the thing that worries you when you wake up in the morning. What's that level 10? Everybody knows what it is. Don't say, I don't know what it is. You know what it is. You know what it is. Or the level 10 opportunity. And you should do this exercise for both. It may be that you have this opportunity to be like the sole person for a major development going on in your area. You got to seal the deal. Like that's, like if you get this means like an incredible amount of listings and contracts, and it's going to change the financial trajectory of your family. But are you putting a level 10 effort into it? So the next thing you do after you...
Right, could the problem and the opportunity be the same thing?
Sure, yeah, totally.
Yeah. Okay.
Totally. Problem, opportunity, it's how you want to, frame it. And, it's on the personal side, it's relationship. It could be, credit card debt. It could be vices, drinking, weed, pornography, other things that are holding you back in your life. It could be your health. Hey, listen, let's be honest. There's a lot of people who, because of the stress of the last couple of years in this industry, it's put a toll on our health. But having had anxiety attacks that when I lived in downtown Toronto sent me to the emergency room twice, I know what it's like to have your health taken away. And the cliche that your health is the most important thing, the health is wealth. Oh man, you believe it when it's been taken from you. And if you have the chance to fix it before it does, that's a level 10 opportunity.
Well, so if you're anything like me, it took you 2 seconds to write. Like there is, so I'll be vulnerable and I'll just tell you, mine is energy. I struggle to have the energy to show up where I need to in work, in family, in faith, in all those things. I'm constantly chasing energy. And so Craig, thank you for it's funny how such a simple question is like, dude, yeah, that is the one thing I need to get better is just my, and I'm not saying motivation. I'm saying purely energy.
Sure.
How do I have the energy to be the person I need to be? Now I need to put level 10 effort into solving that level 10 problem.
Yeah. And in most cases, the great thing, Joe, is I'm sure most people here are familiar with Ben Hardy and Dan Sullivan's book, Who Not How.
Yeah.
Your level 10 problem is going to be greatly answered and solved by a who, not a how do you figure it all out by going to YouTube and reading more books, but simply asking the who's in your life. And I love talking about and helping people have more energy, Joe. So you can hit me up anytime on Instagram. I'm happy to help you out. On the opportunity side, folks, looking at how can you scale your personal brand. If you got some videos that are taking off, you go double down on it. That was one of the greatest lessons that a mentor gave to me at a young age. When an offer is running hot, pour the gasoline on it. Because so many people, when they get a winner, they push it, but do they pour the gasoline on the fire? Most people don't. And this is what separates the people who just scale ahead. I remember when I first moved to Toronto in 2000, and maybe some people of my generation will remember this. Man, you could not go past the dumpster in Toronto without seeing Brad Lamb's face on a little lamb, right? Brad Lamb was everywhere. He was everywhere. He was on every dumpster, on every corner, those little recycling bin things, man. And did he ever pour the energy on that? And, he took off in the real estate space in Toronto because he was willing to pour the gasoline on it. My goodness, every single dumpster, right, Jennifer? Man, that was unforgettable. Cheesy, but unforgettable, right? Cheesy means nothing because unforgettable is all that mattered. So think about what are these opportunities you have, JV partnerships, development, scaling your business. Are you really putting a level 10 effort into it? Or are you like, man, I also want to start a podcast. I also want, burn those things to the ground. That's one of the things that we do when we work with a new client, work with clients in all types of industries, is we pull up their Google Calendar and we call it, politely, we call it culling the calendar, but more realistically, more bluntly, I call it burning your calendar to the ground. Because most people's calendars are like a unicorn ate a bag of Skittles and vomited up a rainbow, right? You got 19 slivers of green, yellow, red, blue, brown, black. That's your day. Like, what are you going to get done when your calendar looks like that? You're not going to have level 10 time for your level 10 problem. And that's what we need to make sure that we do. So we've identified, you've thought about it, you've written it down. It could be around the marriage, right? It could be you've been married for 15 years, your kids are 10 and 12, and you and your wife or you and your husband have turned into Uber drivers for your kids, right? And you're like two ships in the night that pass each other for 5 minutes every single day. How you doing? How you doing? Good, good. Did you go to Harvey's today? No, I went to McDonald's. Awesome. And that is your marriage. And your marriage went from hot to warm to cool. And gosh, it's on the verge of cold because, you spend all this time by yourself, Uber driving around. Now you're listening to audiobooks and you're listening to programs and your interests are going one way and your spouse's interests are going another way. That's a level 10 problem. What's the level of effort you're putting into it? Right? Oh, you send flowers on Valentine's Day. You buy a nice Father's Day gift. It's a level 2 out of 10 effort. You got to put a level 10 effort into your level 10 problem. And I've described that problem. I use that example all the time, because it is the example that I get the most feedback on when I do these presentations for mortgage brokers, for real estate, for influencers, for construction industry, because that's the problem and we need to turn it around. So you identify what level of effort are you putting into this problem? Joe, I don't know what level of effort you're putting into fixing the energy problem, but it doesn't matter if Joe says a 2 or Joe says a 7. There's room to improve. And now here's how we do that. Think about if your friend came to you and said, I've got this level 10 problem, which was the same as yours. It's really easy to give other people advice, right? So you would say to your friend, hey, Johnny boy, he came to me, you don't have energy, your marriage is cold, whatever your problem is, but Johnny boy also has it. You need to do this, 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 and this. It's really easy to do that. And so I want you to give advice. What would it look like for your friend, quote unquote, your friend to put a level 10 effort into their level 10 problem? What would it look like? List 10, a minimum of 10 things that would be significant, that would look like if somebody came to you and said, this is my problem, here's what I'm doing, you would go, yeah, man, you're putting a level 10 effort into this. And that's it. This is a secret to life. This is a secret to adding on to what Emma said. You find that one thing, you pick that one thing, you put a level 10 effort into it. Because I have been around the business game for over 25 years, And what I see as one of the largest failure points is people try something, they give it a 4 out of 10 effort at best, hands up, doesn't work, internet doesn't work, email marketing doesn't work, diets don't work. Every diet works. It's a human that doesn't work. Every diet works. Every internet plan works. Every marketing plan works. The human does not work. Don't be the human that doesn't work. Be the human that puts the level 10 effort into the level 10 problem. So this is what it would look like in like a little waterfall, little worksheet here. And I can send these to you, Amy, after so that folks can have this. Level 10 problem, you list it out, be detailed. Level 10 effort on the side doesn't need much work. It's just a scale of 1 to 10. Who can help? Who, not how? Who can help? You have amazing leaders. What Amy and Joe are doing here is absolutely fantastic. Now, obviously, they can't take an hour out of their day every single day for everybody, but they might be able to recommend, hey, you should go follow Sharon. You should go follow Neel. You should, they're bringing in the great people. You got to connect with Emma. You got to get in their program, whatever it is. Who, not how. And then you write down everything that makes it look like a level 10 effort. And I'll be honest with you, like, I got level 10 problems too. Everybody's got a level 10 problem. Once you kill one level 10 problem, guess what? Something else becomes your level 10 problem. Now, over time, your level 10 problems today, they might suck. In 6 months from now, if you keep doing this, your level 10 problems are, I got all this money, I don't know where to invest it. That's your level 10 problem in 6 months if you start with fixing, I got a level 10 problem of lead generation today, and you put a level 10 effort to it. And rich people just have better level 10 problems in most cases, providing they're taking care of their personal lives as well. So I had a level 10 problem in business, sales conversion. I was very busy with book promotion earlier in this year. And so therefore my big level 10 problem was getting a level 4 out of 10 effort. Who could help? Well, there's this guy named Joe Marcoux who's out of Winnipeg. He's an amazing sales guru. So I went to him, then a couple other people on there. There's a copywriter, there's an ads guy. There's Jeremy Lee Miner as JLM. He's a famous sales guy online. These are all these guys that and there's, there's a couple sales women in there that I went to as well to give me advice. I hired some of them, paid them money. Some of them gave me free advice because some of them are my friends. But I went to them and I shared with them my problem, and they showed me what to do. And so these are all the things underneath. And some of them might not make sense to you because you don't know who Tim is, our copywriter. So he was getting additionally involved in our sales team review. And I was connecting more with leads. I was doing more outbound calls. I'm still fixing this problem, and I'm still doing outbound calls, and I'm still making those calls before I got on this presentation today. I'm doing some work I don't generally like to do, but I'm doing it because it needs a level 10 effort. And I want to show you the marriage one real quickly because I'm fortunate. My personal life, my level 10 problems are good problems. My 3 kids are amazing. They're all in good health. My mom's still around. She's in good health. I've got good relationships with my wife and good relationships with her family. But I want to make our marriage even better. And you can imagine with 3 kids under 3, how difficult things can be to make time to have with your spouse. So there's some things we're doing. So I did this about a month ago and have implemented a lot of it, but I want to show you for those folks that are thinking, man, my marriage does need an upgrade. I'm going to give you some things here that will help no matter where your marriage is. So I was giving it a level 6 out of 10 effort. Who could help? Well, there's a guy named Daniel who's the head coach of our program. He's been married for 10 years, has 3 kids under the age of 6. He's got a lot of lessons he can share with me, and I'll share you with one of the best ones that he gave me in a second. The Freemans. Now, everybody write this down, and maybe I'll just drop it in the chat. Meet _ the Freemans on Instagram. My goodness, they will teach you so much stuff about how to use Instagram. They have 1 million followers, but they also give amazing marriage advice. My opinion, I'm pretty sure it'll jive with you. Meet _ the Freemans. They are absolutely awesome. And they will teach you a lot of stuff, both business-wise, but also for your marriage. So follow them. And then my wife, Michelle. So Michelle and I filled this worksheet out together. And I encourage you, if you're filling these out with a business, around your business, and you have a business partner, do the worksheets together. Get them involved in this concept if they're not here today. All right. Yeah, Danny, they're awesome, right? The Freemans, they're really, really great. Okay, so what's a level 10 effort look like for me to put into my marriage and take my marriage from a 9 out of 10 to an 11 out of 10, which is my level 10 problem? I want to make it even better than it already is. So even though we have 3 kids under 3, we do have 2 nannies all day, 8 to 5, in our house. And I work in my house. My wife works in our house. And so, we're constantly around our kids, but we do have the nannies there, and our nannies, we had our kids in Mexico. Our kids are bilingual. It's really cool. And so our nannies speak Spanish to them all day long, which I can't do. This allows my wife and I, because my wife and I, we're weird. We go to bed at 7:30 at night right after our kids. We eat dinner at 4 o'clock. My wife and I have a 20-minute date dinner in our house, even though we have three kids under 3 every day, 20 minutes. And the kids are screaming beside us, but we get a chance to talk, catch up, talk about things. And we have this little game that we bought on Amazon, like for when we don't have anything to talk about. If you're ever sitting there with your spouse, you have nothing to talk about. We just pull out a random card, and it's like this get to know your family thing. So we do that every day. So we have 20 minutes together at that time of day. And so we bought back our time. I'm an introverted person by nature. I don't really I don't talk too much. So, she has a problem with that. And so I do an emotional check-in every day. I initiate conversation. I use the LACE communication thing that I made up. Listen actively, communicate empathetically. Empathy doesn't come naturally to me, so I'm working on it. We show that we're on the same page. We use the Gottman rule. The Gottman Marriage Institute is fantastic if you don't know it. They have a 20-to-1 rule, 20 positives for every 1 negative interaction. So, if you say to your wife, hey, listen, you leave, there's a whole bunch of clothes left around, the kids were playing with them. They got some ketchup on my favorite shirt for work. That's a negative interaction. You need 20 positive interactions to counter that, is what they recommend. And the Gottman Marriage Institute is a big deal. So I make a daily Post-it note for my wife, just leaving it around the house with a little compliment on it. We cook dinner together 5 out of 7 nights. I'm fully present from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m., which is our family time in the morning when the kids are up, before the nannies get here. And then I'm fully present from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. or 7:30 p.m. When I'm done my workday. And that means phones away. And then we have our weekly date day. And then Daniel said, listen, weekly date days are okay, but you got to get that monthly date night, overnight away, work on your marriage as much as you work on your parenting. And so that was our level 10 effort. And so I know that you'll be able to take stuff away from that. And so the most important thing that I leave you with today is that you identify your level 10 problem in life, personal, professional. You put a level 10 effort into it, and you don't let social media be used on you. And when you only use social media or business media, it's going to free up your time so that you can pour it back into the level 10 problem in your life and get rid of that. And then finally, the last thing I say, I do a lot of podcasts, and people always say, what's one piece of advice that I didn't ask you about that, I would recommend, you would recommend everybody. And I will tell you this is what I live by. Everything in life is easier when you know more good people. Everything in life is easier when you know more good people. I grew up in Stratford, Ontario. We were poor. We weren't dirt poor, but we didn't have much. Came from nothing. I have thousands of friends today. I'm introverted by nature. I'm not a schmoozer, but I still have thousands and thousands of friends, people that I can call friends from all the business stuff that I've done over the years. And everything in my life that I've achieved, from getting fit to making money to finding my wife to meeting my wife, it only happened because I asked for help to good people. So the more good people you know, the easier everything in life will be. And so if you're out there on Lonely Real Estate Agent Island, and we call this Lonely Entrepreneur Island in our world, right? Like you come to these events and you get charged up, and then you go into your regular life, and your brother wants to go golfing, and your parents can't understand your ambition, and maybe your spouse, you can't even talk to your spouse, and you can't talk, if you run a team, you can't talk to the team and complain to them, because they're going to be like, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Moneybags, just hey, you don't have problems, I got problems. Nobody wants to hear your problems except when you're in this tribe. So stay plugged into the tribe. Get to know more good people. And how you know more good people is you add value to other people. So when you hear Joe say, I've got an energy problem, if you're not showing up in Joe's Instagram, you're not sending him something in the mail, you're not saying, hey, try this, what are you even doing? That's like, you got to have your brain wired with radar for opportunities to help other good people. And when you do that, you'll have a million friends. Business will be easier. Listings will be easier. Sales will be easier. Networking's easier. Everything's easier in life. The end.
Love it.
So good.
Yeah, so good. Something that something that came to my mind while you're talking, especially at the end on the personal side, and I think it's something that we're often all strategy, all tactics, all, to grow our businesses, but at the end of the day, our business will grow to the extent that we do. And I love that Craig took the time to really focus on potentially what is the level 10 problem personally or going on in our lives that we need to address, because knock that domino down first, and then the rest will fall into place. You've inspired me with how you've led and how you show up on social and the books that you've authored. And guys, I want to encourage you, grab the Perfect Day Formula, grab The Dark Side of Discipline. Like, you need to read these books. They're so good. They're life-changing, and it will impact your business. But at the end of the day, I love that quote, our business will grow to the extent that we do. And I think that this was a perfect reminder of that. So thank you so much, Craig.
And if you're anything like me, The Dark Side of Discipline is on Audible, which is huge. I just bought it. Like, literally, there's my receipt. So
Thank you.
if you are a audio versus ocular learner, it's on Audible, which is great.
It's awesome. Craig, thank you so much. You guys, we are halfway through halftime. We have two more amazing speakers coming. I'm so excited. We have Neel Dhingra coming up next, and then we have Chelsea Pites. Do not go anywhere. We're going to continue forward. So guys, our next speaker, Neel Dhingra, he is the growth engine for your business that you did not know you needed until now. As a highly sought after speaker and content creator, Neel's business has exploded because he turned authentic and relevant content into consistent value and education for his audience, which is the real estate and the mortgage industries. And he's done it all, you guys, in just a few short years. Neel is the founder of Forward Academy, an incredible marketing and personal brand mastermind. He's also the founder of the Sold Out Forward event, which helps real estate agents learn how to build powerful personal brands and turn content into actual clients. That's what we're looking for, right? You guys, Neel backs every single piece of content that he creates with practical, tactical, income-driving strategies that are helping agents consistently shift the needle. And I know that today's session will be no exception. So let's give it up for Neel.
Thanks for having me, Amy. Appreciate you guys. What's up, Joe? So this has been, I was just listening to Craig. Craig's a new friend of mine, and it is so good. That level 10 framework, I actually have been implementing more of that and just having some more focus. I think right now, I don't know if anybody would agree with this, but I feel kind of overwhelmed on a daily basis with all the different balls we have in the air.
Yeah.
And what should we focus on? And if you don't narrow your focus, nothing's going to happen, and I feel bad because, you meet people at these events. I've been speaking in different, I speak at like 40 events throughout the year, a lot in person, a lot virtually. And I'll meet people and then you'll see them a year later and like, oh yeah, I've been meaning to do that thing. Or I've been meaning to, and like, the time just goes by, like I actually lived a whole decade like that where not much changed. And so, I think, yeah, it's tough to implement everything, but when you feel something today in terms of like, okay, I really like what this person said, I really like the idea Neel said, or really like what Amy taught me here, like that's an indication you need to make a small change. I think it's hard to make a big change, but like that's an indication, okay, let's just make a small shift. I'm going to insert that into my plan and I'm going to give it that level 10 effort, in terms of like, okay, when I'm doing this, I'm a big fan of time blocking. And so we'll get into some video strategy today and hopefully this will help you. I'm going to give you some tactical stuff that's working right now on social. That's going to help.
So good though, Neel. Like most of us got here because we're really good at one or two things. And then we get here and then we try to be great at 10. And it's like that there is that success trap of going like, man, Amy, when you and I first met, you were the YouTube video girl and I was the Facebook lead gen guy. And that's just who we were. And then all of a sudden we get here and we're like, oh no, I've got to be a master of like 30 different things.
Yeah.
And that trap then creates, and so that book was, or that, the principles you talked about, I'm excited to get into the book. So
Yeah.
important, because what if I can't be great at 20 things? Can I,
Well, you can't. Like, it's just
yeah.
not possible, especially today, especially if you have a family. So, I'm just putting I just had a camera, I just turned it on because I'm like, okay, how do we make the most out of our time? So right now I'm talking to you guys on Zoom, but I have a camera on me vertically to the left of the screen. I should record this and capture this. There's going to be some moments. This is a moment right here. Like, I'm talking to you guys. You might see this on Instagram this afternoon, right? Because I don't have time to create content all the time. So like, what are you doing to document? You guys have meetings with your clients. Why don't you just throw up your phone vertically on a thing, put out this wireless mic, it costs $50, put it on your shirt, and then just record the calls. If there's nothing good there, just throw it away, delete it. If there's something good there, it's great. And what I do is I drop the entire video into a tool called Opus.pro. It finds the moments, and it's gotten so good now, guys, that it actually finds the viral moments for you, and it gives you a score. So I just pick the top 3, and I'm like, okay, let me download these to my phone, let me post them, or give them to your content person, let them post them. So like, and you're like, well, those aren't really worthy of a reel. Like, throw them up in your story. Just leverage what you're already doing, especially if you're saying to me, you don't have time to create content. Someone's like, hey, Neel, I don't have time. How do you find the time to do content? And I'm like, how do you have time to brush your teeth? Like,
How do you have time to eat?
well, it's just like content is not always this big thing that you put on a pedestal. It could just be what you're doing. Sometimes content for me is walking from the car to the door of the office. You had an idea while you're on the drive to work. Why don't you just get it out there? Yes, we can make a perfect video later, but I'll tell you what, you'll be paid for imperfect content, but you'll never get anything from incomplete. Right?
Well, it's the
Like,
it's the
I've
Gary
made
V.
I've made a video that's a 6 out of a 10 that got me a new relationship. I've made a video that got me an opportunity to speak to a whole group, and we could grow our organization. Like, you're saying no for the audience. There's people here. I'm included in this, by the way. I know Amy's included in this. We're all guilty of this. How many times are we saying no for the audience? Like, it's not really worthy of a piece of content. Well, how do you know? Post it. And then if you're like, I don't want to fail publicly in front of my audience and they'll see how many views I got on Reels, post it as a trial reel and just see how it does behind the scenes. It doesn't even show up on your feed, So there's a lot we could be doing. There's a gentleman in my community who's grown his audience by 100,000 followers in the last 90 days by just dumping every single piece of content into trial reels. And then he picks the winners. So I don't know if you guys are using Instagram trial reels, but you can post up to 20 a day if you wanted to. Now, I know we don't have time for that, but like, how much content is dead in our phones that we could just throw up, see if it does well with the strangers. And then if it does, you just hit one button and it moves it onto your feed as a real piece of content on your feed. Like, that's a great strategy to test 10 things and see which one works. And so I'm just going through my old content. Like, how many of us have so many pieces of content we did? They have a very, very low shelf life. What if we were to repurpose those and post them again to get more views? What if you were to repost it and get a little call to action at the end? So just let me know in the chat, guys, if you guys are interested in using your Instagram to make more money in the next 6 months. I just want to make sure we're in the correct venue, because sometimes I'm in the I get the wrong idea. Sometimes
So
someone's like, hey, teach this stuff. Maybe they want to learn something else. Maybe you guys are already rich and nobody cares about getting more business for the second half, and we could do something else. But if it is, looks like yes, okay, then I'm going to give you guys some stuff, because I think that's the key. Is like, I last time I checked, we can't deposit our views and likes at Bank of America. They laughed at me. So let's get some clients, let's get some conversations from our social media. And it's exactly what Craig just said. He said, if you're going to do it, let's do it intentionally. If I'm scrolling or doom scrolling, I'm trying to avoid just doing it for the sake of doing it. Like, I'm researching, like, what's working, what's a trend that's working in another industry that you could apply to your content. Oh, I love this agent's hide and seek videos. Could I do that in my market? Or I love this way of doing home tours. Let me save that so I could give that to my videographer inspiration. Like, you should be researching what's working on the platform. And so I'm going to share, if we have, are we good on time? Amy, I know like we were running a little bit behind, but you guys are good?
Yeah, we're okay.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to share some stuff with you guys, and let's get into it, because I've got like limited time here and I want to make sure we make the biggest impact, if that's cool with everybody here. So I just spoke to how many people here in the chat are with the organization Real Broker? I just spoke to, and how many of you were at the Rise event in Las Vegas? Is anybody at the Rise event this past year? It was such a great event. So awesome to see so many of your faces there. And so I was there, and I got to speak to the group, and it's kind of crazy because it came from an opportunity from just my relationship with Sharon and so many people here at Real. You know, and I also speak with people, like, it's not like I'm tied to one thing. I've spoken to EXP groups, spoken to all these other groups across the country, but I was actually made a really cool relationship with Sharon, and he, you know, he's on the board now, but he's a president at the time. And he's just a great guy in terms of he's introduced me to so many great ideas. He's taught me so much, and I've helped him at his events. He's helped me at my events. And so I had a mastermind event in California. It was at this hotel called what's it called? It's the Pendry, right? And so I was speaking at the, I was actually going to have this event at the Pendry, and I told Sharon, he's like, yeah, I could do it. And then a week before, I'm like giving him all the details, and he texts me this. He's like, Neel, I thought this was in Orange County, which is where Sharon lives. Is it in San Diego? I'm like, yeah, it's at the Pendry in San Diego. I thought you knew that. And we can send a driver to you. No worries. Like, we'll order a car. It's a 2-hour drive. We'll pick you up and drop you off. And he's like, dude, I'm sorry, I can't do this. I just FaceTimed my wife to work it out, and she said no. Like, she said it would work if it was in Orange County, but he basically had a kid thing that Saturday, and he can't do my event anymore. Now, by the way, I had already hyped this up to my entire Ford Mastermind group. It's a private community of the best people in real estate and mortgage. This is like my family. I've hyped him up. He's going to be teaching this framework. We're going to be doing this whole thing. And he's like, dude, I can't do it. And this was just a week before. So I'm like, man, this is crazy. And by the way, the whole confusion was because there's 2 Pendrys. There's one like literally 10 minutes from his house, and there's one in San Diego. And I didn't realize it was a chain. So all that to say is it was dead, people to plug. And I was like, okay, we'll just figure something out in the future. And I go to like, what's my plan B now? Because I've got an event in 4 days. How are we going to make this work? And so I go to sleep, and then, you know what? I wake up in the morning. I'm like, you know what? There's probably a way to make this work. I send him this text. I go, bro, I came up with the plan. I found an executive helicopter company in Orange County near your house. They'll fly you from your house to downtown San Diego. It takes 25 minutes. You could speak and then fly back. And I put in bold, I guarantee you'll be home before noon on Saturday, because I knew he had to be at a kid's thing that afternoon. I'll send him my video guys. We'll make a video about this whole thing. It'll be such a cool story to tell. I'll handle everything and all the costs, obviously. What do you say? And I just get left on red. Like, he's not responding at all, because I think he's busy speaking at an event that day. And I think he was actually overseas at the time. And so I'm not getting anything. And then the next morning, like at a weird hour, like super, super early, like 2 a.m. or something, I get this text from him. Oh no, it was midnight. I get this text. It just says, bro, you're crazy. And I'm like, is that a yes? I don't know if that's a yes, but I'm gonna take it as a yes. Like, let's go. So I booked the helicopter, figured it all out. By the way, I had not found the company. I didn't know what it cost. I just knew that it was like Southern California. There's got to be a freaking helicopter company in LA, like Orange County, right? Turns out it's actually not that expensive as you would think. So anyways, we go ahead and make it happen. And then this is what Sharon posted that day on his social. Just check this out real quick.
When the hills turn brown and your color leaves, and the only sound is a broken sea, and you lose.
So I think I ruined it for him. I don't think he's ever going to want to make the drive from Orange County to San Diego ever again, because I put him in a helicopter and flew him down there. And what's crazy about it is it almost didn't happen because I hit that roadblock, and it was basically a no. And so, you know what I think, guys, is like, when you got down there, he spoke at this event, by the way, and everybody loved it. It just made the whole weekend. It was such a cool story there for like, hey, this almost didn't happen, and it made it even better. So we had such a great time. But, you know, I just was thinking this moment wouldn't have happened for most people, right? And why? It's because, like, you know, sometimes in our life, doors aren't closed. You just need to push harder. Think about it. Like, how many times here have we continued to push on a deal that was dead, or continue to figure out a way to get this offer accepted, or get that listing, or to get this deal done, or to push through for an opportunity for ourselves? And I've just found, guys, that like 80% effort gets you 80% results, but 100% effort gets you 1000% results. That last 20% is everything. It's where all the gold is, because nobody will do that shit. So I just wanted to set this up before we get into the content strategy of like, how could you be more intentional? Who could you wow this week? Who could you wow this week, right? Like, and it could be non-business or business, but like, this is the gold, that last 20%. We're talking about content stuff. I'm going to show you the last 20% today. It's not even that hard because the bar is low. But if you do that, it's wide open. Nothing is saturated right now because most people suck at what they do, right? It's really not hard to stand out in a world that has normalized mediocrity. Everybody is just meh. If you ask people right now, I'm like, hey, how's it going, bro? He's like, oh, yeah, meh. I'm like, is that a response? I don't even know what you said just now. Like, what is that? People are just numb, burnt out. I don't know what it is, if it's from all the scrolling or our minds being just overstimulated from all the crazy news flow over the last 5 years. But whatever it is, people are just kind of at a baseline that's low. And so if you're enthusiastic, if you're going above and beyond just a little bit, you win. It's that easy. And the same thing is true with content, which I'm going to get into today. This is the problem I think a lot of us have here on this call, and some of us to a bigger degree than others. I faced this issue for the first 15 years of my career. I had a great reputation with a small circle of people that know, like, and trust me, and they refer me business. The problem is it was too small. So I was always capped at like a certain level of income. All I did, guys, is decide to put those great things that people knew about me on the internet. As soon as I put them on the internet, the number of opportunities and referrals and new things, doors opened for me. And so I just want you to, like, I know we're going to get into a bunch of tactics here, but like, just simplify this whole thing. Why do people refer you right now? Like, if you think about this, why do people refer you? Is it because, like, just let me know in the chat right now. What is a reason why people refer you? Just tell me, what is one reason why somebody sends you their, trusts you with their clients? Drop it in the chat. Cindy said she's a great communicator. Okay, I love that. What is another reason why people will refer you? They trust you, Stephen. That's good. Okay. Trust and great connections. The experience, JR said. So he has, his level of experience. I work hard and I'm responsive, Jennifer said. Okay. Natalia's honest. So this is all great stuff, right? So here's the thing. What if, like, right now, there's a small circle of people that know this about you, they send you business. What if we just made that circle 10 times bigger? What if, like, we intentionally put these things on the internet? You want people to know you work hard. What if we start highlighting the things that you do that show you work hard? How many of you are embarrassed or reluctant to post when you're on vacation with your family or you have some success? Like, I used to feel really bad about sharing that. A, because I think I'm not going to get business or they're going to give it to somebody else. But then B, I thought it was just like weird to show off. Like, I don't want to flex that I'm doing something. What I found out is the reason why I have a problem showing success is because I never show the work. So it just looks like you popped up and it's just a highlight reel. What if you show the work as well? The work that you're putting in. Like, what if I went on social right now before I popped on here and said, here's what I'm doing today. I'm working on this and this and this. Here's a quick tip I learned from Craig today. Like, just share the information that you're already doing. Look at your calendar. The content is already there, and just share that. And it will help other people, but it will also show what you're doing. I have so many people who work with me because they say the same thing that somebody said in the chat. Really respect your work ethic. How do they know that I have a good work ethic? Because I post about it every single day, right? So you don't have to go all in like me, but start sharing those things and you'll see the number of referrals change for you. I want to go through my 3C system, which is content, connection, conversion. And for the content section, I don't have time to go through my entire content strategy, but I want to just give you the number one thing that is working right now to generate business. This is the number one way to generate business on social media. Now, you still need the connection and conversion piece of this 3C thing formula, but for the content piece, the number one way for you to get business on social is to prove competence. So I just talked about what you need to show. You need to show that you work hard, that you know your stuff, that they can trust you. If you're not putting that in the content, it's going to be hard for you to ask for the business. There's people who go straight to the conversion step and run the calls to action, and they get very little response. Why? Because you haven't done the other steps. You haven't proven, you haven't built your brand. And so this can be done in literally just 1 or 2 posts a week. If you want to really ramp it up and go all in, you can go crazy, but I think you should not let a week pass 52 weeks in a year. You should not let a week pass where you haven't posted something in your Instagram feed that proves you're good at what you do, that you should be trusted, that you're knowledgeable, that you work hard, the results you get your clients, all those kinds of things. Now, one easy way to show competence is to break down the news flow and how it affects your clientele. Now, every market's different, and every country, like US, is a little different than Canada, but like, what is the news flow? There's no shortage of news that affects the industry right now. I use Apple News and I find the headlines. So I want to give you guys a quick hack on this, okay? Whenever I put the headline of the article in the first 3 seconds of the video on when I'm breaking down the news, it does way better, considerably better. So I use article headlines. I just get a screenshot of it. I don't even have a fancy editor. And I just take that headline and I put it in the Reels editor and put it on the first 3 seconds. This last reel insight that I'm on the slide right here is from my sister. She was sitting in her car. She's about to shoot a reel. And we were on the phone. She's like, hey, I got to go. I got to shoot this reel. I promised myself I'd post it today. And I was like, okay, what are you doing it on? And she was like, well, I want to do it on the minimum amount of income needed to qualify and how it's kind of crazy these days and what we could do about that. I was like, okay, let me find an article real quick about that. I gave her the screenshot of the article. I literally texted to her. She put it in the beginning of the video she was already about to shoot, and it blew up for her. It did 4x what she would normally have gotten just by sharing the middle, just by putting that article in the beginning. So you could do green screen videos too, but for me, I like to shoot my reels, my talking head reels, and just put the article there. And here's why this is working right now. By the way, I just did this. I think the video, I screenshotted this like last week, the one in the middle. I talked about how the tax plan affects the housing market, the new tax plan that's about to be passed here in the US. And it's got, it's close to 1 million views now, which is crazy. All I did was just put in the headline, and then I literally read from my phone for the rest of the reel. Like, it wasn't even that difficult. So essentially all I'm doing is just giving the news and giving my opinion and breaking it down for them. It saves my audience time, okay? And it shows I'm competent. I know what's going on in the market. I got my finger on the pulse. So on that video, it crushed. But the reason why this is working right now is because they don't have to decide whether to listen to you or not. You're just saying like, hey, did you guys see this? Did you hear about this? Let me break it down for you. So it's just an observation. It's not saying, hey, I'm the top producer expert, watch my video. It doesn't give off those vibes. It just goes, hey man, did you hear about this new tax bill? Did you hear about the news that this is happening right now? Here's how it affects you, right? And they want to hear that. Then in the middle, I can put in my information, okay? Now, interestingly enough, whenever I do this, occasionally it will rank in Google. The other day I posted one of these about interest rates and the movement in our market. The video only had like 400 views, and somebody in our group was like, hey, Neel, I just searched interest rates and your video from Instagram came up #1. So in the what people are saying section of Google, it's indexing your videos and ranking them. So I was getting traffic. I didn't even realize it from Google, from the SEO of like what I wrote in my caption and what I said in my video. Instagram indexes this now and there's a button that is on by default in your settings. I don't have time to go through it right now. If you guys DM me afterwards, I can show you where it's at. But make sure that button is on, because every single video you post is being the data is going over to Google.
Hey,
so
Neel,
this is just
one thing I love about this, when you guys are all too young for this, when I was a kid, there was a song called OPP. And what you're talking about is OPIP, like other people's intellectual property. Like, dude, someone took time to write an article on all this stuff, and you're grabbing their IP and going like, oh, cool, well, let me just talk about it. And so I think people get
like,
stuck.
imagine this. Like Yahoo Finance, whoever put the article out, Joe, they probably tested 7 headlines before they figured out the one that works, and then they went with the one that gets the most clicks. I'm just taking all that work and I go with it, right?
That's right.
So President leverage like makes your job easier, okay? So much easier. And you get more reach and people want to see it. So I'm not saying this is all your videos, but if you want to incorporate them, you will get more reach from this one strategy. Super easy to do as well. I've got a bunch of
Federal Reserve
on this, but also what's another benefit of this is people in the industry will share your content. So like, here's one where I just talked about what's going on with interest rates and how it affects buyers in our market. And all of these people in real estate are sharing my video, which is awesome because, you know, I'm at this point, like I've worked my way to becoming a thought leader in the industry, but it was even happening early on because they're like, Neel said it better than I could. Hey, if you're in the market, check out Neel's video. So I'm like, wait a second. All these other agents are introducing me to their sphere. I'm getting more like followers. I'm getting more credibility, all these types of things because most of the industry is scared or not good at making this type of video. I make it, so then I get the credit for it, right?
From
So
a
what's crazy is,
practical standpoint, Neil, are you using
yeah.
like the Captions app? Or are you using just the native reel, like Instagram
So
app
I do,
for
yeah, I
your?
use captions, and then sometimes I just need to get it out. So I'll literally just type this text in the beginning on Instagram and put it up for the first 3 seconds, and then the rest is just the simple captions inside of Instagram. Like if
Okay,
it's
cool.
something
So
super time sensitive, I don't have time to give it to an editor. I just need to get
sure.
it posted.
Yeah, there is an app, guys, called Captions that'll do some pretty cool stuff. They're now using AI. They'll put, images over your reel and stuff. So
Yes.
check out
And then
Captions app.
Vanita just said, how do I do that? So literally, Vanita, you take a screenshot, you crop the image on the iPhone. I think if you have an Android, it might still work. I'm not sure though. But on the iPhone, it definitely works. You crop that. And then in Instagram, when you go to post the video, there's a button called stickers, it's a sticker button, and there's a button for photos. You can put the photo on the beginning of your video. You can put it wherever you want. And then you can also decide the duration. I would suggest you put this sticker, this picture up for the first 3 seconds of your video. And then just say, did you guys see the news about this? Try it. Like I've been talking about this for the last few months. It's crushing still. It's still early on this trend, and you guys will get way more reach because of this. So give that a shot. That's the first strategy I want you to make sure you do from today's talk, break down the news. The other thing is, like, a lot of people will tell me, hey, Neil, I love that I'm getting followers and views from all around the country and sometimes all over North America, but how does that help me? I'm in freaking, uh, Seattle, Washington. I want more business in Seattle, Washington. I'm like, okay, well, you can make local content about what's going on. Like, there's a gal that I just connected with on Instagram, Alyssa. I think she's in Spokane, Washington. She speaks at some of the events, and she just makes her whole page is about Spokane, Washington. So she gets a bunch of reach and has built her business off of that. She does highlights and then she does calls to action. So that's a strategy you can do. But if you want to just incorporate some local content into your videos, you can do it. Like the other day, I wanted to talk about what's going on in Las Vegas. So I picked a headline of what's going on, and then I just talked about it. All right, so this is freaking crazy. By 2028, Las Vegas is going to have a high-speed rail connecting Southern California and Vegas. It's only going to take 2 hours to go back and forth. You got a Major League Baseball team. So literally, I didn't memorize anything. I was just reading from this list and put the list up. And this was from another local account that was talking about the biggest news in Las Vegas right now. What happened was the video got shown to primarily people in Las Vegas and people thinking about moving to Las Vegas. Now, this was all organic, no ad spend at all. And bro, I'm telling you guys, I just read from my phone. Okay, it wasn't like I had some crazy gift of gab and I think a lot of people think like I'm special. This comes naturally to me. Like, no, I have to work at it too. It's not easy, but like this one, I will tell you, was easy. No bullshit. All I did was just read from my phone and cut it up and make it a 45-second video. And then what's cool about it is in the comments, people are talking about Las Vegas, moving to Las Vegas, and then they become aware of me. And so if you make content about your local area, the algorithm has gotten so good, it will show it to more people in the local area. Plus, if you want, you could actually run this as, you could put some paid media behind this. You could go into Facebook ads and you could target within a certain radius of your market. And then you could start to put calls to action in these videos. So it's a great strategy if you want to get more local and just kind of narrow your focus to your local market. I know people benefit from business outside of there too. So you can kind of mix and match how you'd like to do it. But I'm telling you right now, like when I do these news breakdowns, I do green screen. Anytime I'm short on time, I just pick a green screen and just do one really quick. And it's got the breaking news vibe, like, hey, this is what's going on right now. And then sometimes it's non-business related. Like the other day, a few weeks back, I was like, hey, I saw this article headline that people were going to the Coachella Festival in California, and they were financing their tickets on to go to the concert. And I was like, hey, did you guys see that people are financing? Like, I think it was 2/3 of the people financed their ticket to the Coachella festival. Like, I think this might be an indication that the economy is slowing down and interest rates might be coming down. What do you guys think? And then people get debated in the comments. It was super simple, just a really good engagement piece. So the main thing about these videos, when you do a green screen or you put in your news flow, is like, what's your unique point of view? So on that Vegas one, I talked about all these people moving, all these cool things happening. It does kind of mean that we're losing that local, smaller town Nevada vibe. But at the same time, I'm excited for all the growth. And I feel like it's a great place to be an entrepreneur. It's a great place to invest in real estate because of all the growth. That was my point of view. So you need to put in your unique point of view. If you don't do this, you'll only get so far with this strategy. It's not just about saying, here's what happened. It's about saying, here's what I believe as well. And I think about, your personal brand is you. And the POV is at the intersection of you. So what is your POV? I think so many people in this industry are scared to share your point of view. I don't know what it is. You're worried that a couple people might be offended. You're worried that somebody won't do business with you because of it. But if you have no point of view, then there's no reason why someone would watch the content. It's just like everybody else. It's just noise. So please share that. Like, I think we understood Craig's point of view just now as I watched this talk. I understand a little bit about him. I understand what he believes and what he stands for. That's why you'll follow him. That's why you'll do business with him. So don't be scared of that. That's literally the reason why someone will choose to work with you. And again, if you're saying everything the exact same way that everybody is saying it, it's just noise. There's so much content out there, guys, right now. It's like the biggest opportunity we've ever seen with content because so many people are addicted to their phone. But at the same time, there's never been this much content being pushed out on a daily basis. So it's not difficult to stand out. You just have to be yourself and stand above that. So anyways, just figure out how you could share this. And I want to give you guys an idea. I've seen a lot of articles about a recession. I've seen a lot of articles. I don't know which market everybody is in on here, but like in our market, Las Vegas, the market is definitely soft compared to where it was last year. It's not like it's crashing at all, but like we're going to see a pullback in prices. We have seen price cuts. We have seen days on market go up. Again, not a crash, but like there is a pullback. What does this mean? How could I break that down? Do you have a unique take, how it impacts your people? Is there a personal story you have related to this? I have a personal story. The last time we saw a pullback in Las Vegas, my family, my wife and I, we bought our current primary home. So in 2002, rates went up from really low to they spiked. The market got spooked and demand just kind of fell off a cliff for 6 months. During that time, we found a property that's been on the market for 180 days plus. It was overpriced. We cut a deal because the guy was a flipper and he needed to get on to his next project. And I ended up saving over $300,000 on a $2 million purchase. So we literally got our dream home on a golf course with the pool, everything we wanted because we bought during a pullback. What happened a year later? Prices resumed up. We're seeing that opportunity again right now. So this is turning this into like, I have a personal story to tell. Can AI tell that story? Can Joe tell that story? No, I can tell that story, right? Think about, do you have something related to this? Maybe you got rich during the last stretch. Maybe you didn't. Maybe you lost your ass. Talk about it, right? But talk about how you've seen the opportunities and the smartest investors are using these pullbacks as opportunities. And if your market is seeing that, be the agent that talks about it. I don't know what it is. And Amy, I'd love your opinion on this. Why do agents hesitate from saying that prices came down a bit? Is it because they're scared of what will happen to their listings or pissing off their sellers, or what's the deal? Because I don't see it happening.
They're afraid that sorry, say that again. They're
So
afraid
like,
what?
why would an agent on this call be hesitant to say, hey, we're seeing a pullback in home prices? Are they just only allowed to say prices go up?
They're probably afraid to kill buyer business. It's
Exactly.
part of
Yeah.
it. They're like,
Okay.
if I say, hey, prices may be dipping, 1.7 to 2%, they're probably afraid that their buyers will then not buy.
Okay, so here's the solution for this, Joe. Why don't we pull up a...
And
go ahead.
if you're a listing agent, obviously that's a bigger issue.
Yeah, and so you can be honest about the prices. I think if you have some listings that are overpriced, you probably are going to have a conversation with those listings anyway about how to get to have a more compelling price. But I think you can do this in a respectful way and be honest. But let's just pull up a chart of Apple and any values of one of the most valuable companies in the world. Pull up a chart of it. It goes from the lower left to the upper right. But along the way, there's all these little pullbacks. Does it mean it's a crash? Those are all the smartest investors use these as opportunities to enter the market. So nothing goes up in a straight line. Even the best quality assets don't move like that. There's going to be some ebb and flow. And the problem is the average investor thinks when it pulls back that it's going to keep pulling back and crash. The smart investor knows that these are dips. These are opportunities. And so I want to highlight some of those opportunities, and then you can talk about it. Yeah, maybe you can get concessions now, So think about like how you could make this understandable to people. There's a guy in my group.
I think people are also just genuinely afraid to, I know exactly what you're saying, but I think people are genuinely afraid of giving their POV because people will either agree or disagree, and what will people think? I think that's a big issue.
I agree, Amy, but I'm telling you that this is like everybody here, we're going to have to maybe dip your toe in the shallow water first. You don't have to go in the deep end, but you have to start sharing it because it's just noise. they expect realtor to say the prices go up every day. They expect you to say it's always a good time to buy. What if you popped on today and said it's not a good time to buy unless you meet these factors? That would be a different video. That's anti-generic. So my big term for 2025, second half, this is halftime. If you're making generic content, let's switch second half. Let's go anti-generic. Let's start inserting our point of view. Let's start telling the truth about what's going on in the market. You might be the only agent that does it. Literally, in my market, I might be one of 5 people. In the entire 3 million people city of Las Vegas, I might be one of 5 people that talks and tells the truth about the opportunities. Imagine the opportunities you'll get because of that, right? So do you think you'll lose a few people? I don't know. But the amount you gain is way more than what you lose, right? So just think about that, narrowing your audience a bit. I want to give you just a way to be anti-generic. Like, a year ago, or 2 years ago, you might pop on and say, here are 3 of the best tools, and you guys can screenshot this. 3 of the best tools, or three ways, 3 things you need to know about buying a home in 2025. That'd be great. And that's better than nothing, by the way. If you're not posting, this is better than nothing. But the better video today would be like, look, if you're overwhelmed or you're worried about buying a home in 2025, look, I was right there with you, or my client was right there with you until we found this 3-step formula, until we found these 3 tools, until we found X, right? And so you're meeting them where they're at. You're giving them something specific, not generic. So
you're showing empathy as well.
Yes, right? So I've had great success, Joe, by saying, look, if you're worried about these high prices and rates, I get it, man. I'm worried as well. But here's the thing. Here's what I'm seeing. Here's a solution to that. Did you know there's a solution to this? Did you know you can ask the seller for this? So, like, meet them where they're at. Don't make people feel dumb. I feel like the agents that talk down to buyers, and maybe it's just like, you're not doing anybody any favors. And they just feel like they're being lectured. Like, oh man, I told you guys you should have bought before these rates moved up, and now look what you're seeing. Like, who is that helping? Yeah, I guess you sound smart, but I think you're just turning people off. So let's meet them where they're at. Let's show some empathy, and you'll get more. I also am crushing it right now with written content. Sometimes I don't feel like doing a video, so I'll just write. I remember posting this quick tweet. I do one of these every day, but I just posted like, hey man, the best deal isn't the cheapest. It's the home that makes your family happy at the best price you can negotiate. So when you're buying a primary residence, the ROI on happiness beats the ROI on savings. That was my point, right? And I'll just share my thoughts every single day. And you get better at this. Somebody told me, how do you get better at writing? Well, I write something every morning for the last 5 years. So then I get better at writing, like you just start to see what works. You start to write more concisely and more impactfully. So I just start sharing some of the writing. And then I noticed maybe I got a few more likes on Twitter, a few more likes on Threads on it. So then I'll just screenshot that. Nothing fancy, no fancy Canva template, nothing. I literally just screenshot it and post it as a reel. And it does really well. You could put music over it. And you could put, like, if it's something sentimental, you could put a sentimental instrumental audio over it. You could put, if it's something more like inspiring, you could put inspirational. I just type in inspirational or instrumental, sentimental, and it'll give you the audios for free that you can use on Instagram. You can put that over the written piece, and it will crush. Like, this thing that took me less than 30 seconds to post gets tens of thousands of views today. And so I do this in the mixture of all my content. I will do videos, I will do carousels, and I've seen a pretty big increase in the views coming from written content. Okay. And I touched on this earlier, but many times when I'm writing or teaching something, I want to create a small shift in the way somebody thinks about something. Somebody in my group did this recently. They were explaining inflation, and they said, there's a lot of confusion on inflation. And they just said, look, let me explain it to you in a way a child would understand. During COVID times, I gained 40 pounds. It sucks, man, but I gained a lot of weight during that time. Well, I'm fat, but that's just the way it is. I'm going to work on this. But after COVID, I've still gained weight. I gained just weight. Instead of 40 pounds, I gain about 2 pounds a year. But the thing is, I'm still fat. This is inflation. So yes, it's slowing, but I've not lost anything. The prices are still up. And so so many people wrote in the comments of that guy's post, like, hey man, I finally understand inflation. This is the first, like, I've been hearing about this shit on the news for the last 5 years. You finally made me understand it. So like making it dumbed down version, making an analogy. If you need help with this, metaphors, like ask ChatGPT, what's a simple way to explain this concept? Give me some ideas. Let's talk about this back and forth with AI. Come up with a better way to explain it. You will be the person that created a small shift in the way somebody thinks about something.
Well, and Neel, if people say something stupid, we're worried that it's if we're creating content, we're worried that it's just people are going to remember that forever. Like, no, people are going to forget so fast. Like the fear of like, well, what if I say something wrong, or what if I say something too controversial? It's like
Neel actually in one of his trainings says his best. He's like, give your POV, post the video, and he's like, if for whatever reason you were wrong, like take it down.
Just delete it.
Delete
Yeah.
it, bro.
Delete it.
Yeah, you could delete it. There's all kinds of fail safes, but then the other part is like, if you believe it and it's something you stand by, like share it. Like maybe you believe that most people shouldn't do this when they buy a home. Well, share that point of view, share that shift of like, I don't think that you should totally liquidate your savings to buy your first home. I think you should have a nest, like a little cushion there. Now that's not like mind-blowing advice, but it's something that you don't expect people in real estate to say very often. So then when I say it, I kind of stand out, right? Because most people are scared to say this because they might have a client somewhere that needs to liquidate. Well, you can make the exception there. And the odds of them seeing that video at the right time is like very low. And if they did say it like, hey, Neel, I'm having to, totally put all my money down to make this deal happen. But I noticed you had a video 7 months ago on your feed. I was just bored. So I decided to scroll your entire Instagram feed. And then at 1 a.m., I came across this video. Like the odds of this happening are very, very low. But if it did happen, you would just explain, well, your situation is different. Here's why, right? You're the exception to that rule. So create a shift and you'll see more people. Think about this. I saw this quote. It's like people introduce you to new ways of thinking and seeing life are so important. Like these are the most valuable people. The people you follow have a unique point of view. So I would just encourage you guys. I know I'm beating this down, but like make sure you start inserting more of your thoughts into this. One easy action item here, like I gave you guys before. The first action item was the headline, right? Put in 3 seconds. Second action item from today's talk. What is one thing that you believe that others won't say out loud? It could be something simple as home prices don't always go up and they pull back, and here's what's going on with that. Like that is something a lot of people aren't saying out loud. You should say it. What's something else? Like what is a gripe you have with your industry? A way of you that you differ from everybody else. That's a video I would love for you to post this week. Think about this, and the sooner you can get this idea out, the better. And every time we do one of these classes, Amy, somebody does this and they end up getting a ridiculous amount of reach because of it. Because it's just not the normal video, generic.
Yeah. Neel, how is it the best way for people to either, I know to find you on social, but sign up for your emails, get information about your webinars? How are people going to get a hold of you?
I'll share with you guys. We have a group. And by the way, I have a bunch of like hooks to share with you guys. Let me just put this up. If anybody wants me to email them, just scan this QR code or go to neelshooks.com and I'll send you, I have a bunch of like ways to start your videos, just some simple free resources. So scan this or go to neelshooks.com and then I'll send it over to you guys. And then, we have a group, Amy, where we go through basically we go through every other week. I do a call with the group. We go through our content ideas. I give you guys scripts. We go through exactly kind of what we did today, but actually show you how to do it. And we have a bunch of resources. And then it's also cool because you're surrounded by people who are doing the thing. I think real estate in general and entrepreneurship is just really difficult because you're on an island. You're kind of on your own. It's a solo sport. But when you're surrounded by people who are making the videos and kind of in the weeds with you, like, hey, I tried this video. I'm not sure if it was good, but give me your feedback. You know what? I saw Amy do it. I saw Joe do it. I can do it. You're just in that mode. You're just more likely to do the thing. So we created a community. It's called my Content Accelerator Group. And we'll go through like all the ways that we're getting reach, even with written content. I have a bunch of different things on how you could share your personal views in your content. Jesse Itzler told me this a few years backstage at one of our events. He's like, man, the greatest gift you can give yourself is to get over the fear of being embarrassed. Like what Amy said earlier, we're scared what people will say. And so, I can give you the ways to do it in the most respectful way. And just one of the quick tip I want to make sure I leave you with is a lot of content that I used to post in stories, like only in my Instagram story, is now going in the feed. So I would encourage you guys, like sometimes you would want to share something, just kind of a personal story. You're only reaching a fraction of your people with your Instagram story. Go ahead and put that as a feed post. Like I missed my flight the other day and I just posted a reel instead of just sharing it in my stories. I think there's literally like 200 people, past clients, referral partners, friends, business partners, all sharing and commenting about their story of when they missed their flight. What does this have to do with real estate? Nothing. But as Chelsea Pites explains, and she's about to speak, small talk leads to big talk, right? You don't ever walk up to somebody and just go straight for the kill. You have some small talk first. And so this is a great door opener. And next time I post a call to action, many of these people who are talking to me about my missed flight are the people who sign up for my thing, show up to my web class, download my guide, right? So think about that. But yeah, I want to share with you guys this link in case anybody wants to join our group. We actually teach a automated follow-up system as well that will help you guys. Let me find the slide here for you guys. Okay, so if you go to ncadeal.com or scan this QR code, okay, right now, this is our group online, and I wanted to do something really special for everybody here. So right now, when you go to this group, it's annual membership. I think Shalini's in. There's several people in our community that you know, Amy, that are in this group, and they're crushing it. So you can scan this and go there. It'll show you a pricing thing of it's $2K for the year. But I want to do something really cool. So we did this for 5 people today. I'm going to update it right now, and it's going to cut the annual enrollment in by 40%. It only works for 5 people. So I'm going to do that right now. And if anybody wants to join for the next few minutes, if you scan this, if you refresh your screen, the price will have just changed by 40%. I just had my team change it for you guys for 5 people. So if you want to join that, we have a call coming up on Tuesday where we're going to dive deep into all of this stuff. And we'd love to see you in there. And I'll put the link in the chat as well, in case anybody wants it. Yeah, Shalini's in the group. Several other people are in it. And I didn't have time to get into our calls to action formula, but that's where I think we're seeing the most benefit right now. Amy is like, I think most people just go straight for the ask. Like, hey, book a call with me. Let's set up a buyer strategy call. Let me list your home. But like, what would come before that? Like, what would someone need before they book a call? Maybe a group information session. What would they need before that? Maybe a free download, right? And I think this is the missing link. There's no easy next step for most people on this call. The only step is to book a call or call you and start working with you. That's the last step of the funnel. So we just need to back up the truck. I think people don't understand this, but the best marketers on Instagram, the people who are making the most money online, are not looking for sales. They're looking for signal. They just want you to raise your hand. And if you don't have an easy way for your audience to raise their hand and opt in and get into your ecosystem, you're missing out on the majority of business right now. It's probably the biggest opportunity I've seen in real estate business ever, is this big segment of people. Sharon showed it like a bell chart. The biggest segment of people is like 2 or 3 steps behind your offer, and you're not giving them anything. You're not serving that group of people. So I think that's where we need to go.
Everything that you say is gold. So good.
Yeah,
so good.
Yeah, we could go on. We could do a whole day training, but it's like,
I'm so happy. I'm coming to.
Yeah, like this is really cool. Like, I think if you're coming to Forward, let us know in the chat. I think Amy's gonna be there. Shalini's gonna be there.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's gonna be awesome. I would love to meet you guys in person.
Neel, thank you so much. We're gonna shift over to, well, you started with your intro for Chelsea already. So
and by the way, if you guys like, you need to lock in for what Chelsea's about to teach you, because like the last time I heard her speak, I just applied 2 of the things that she said, and I've had an increase in the last 90 days in terms of connections and conversations from social. So I've known Chelsea a long time. She's a great friend. And so I'm really excited for what she's about to share.
Amazing.
All right, guys. Man, that was so good. Last time I saw Chelsea, we spoke at an event together in Portland, and I thought everybody was there to see me. And then they were all there to see Chelsea. So if you don't know who she is, she crushes it. Go-to voice as far as real estate agents, learning to create bold content, magnetic brands. She's a speaker. She's an author. She really excels in teaching camera shy agents to get out of their own way and start creating authentic marketing. So I know we're up against it. I think, Aim, let's just get Chelsea on RocketFuel ASAP, because she's going to crush it. So Chelsea, time is short. We're in overtime now. We went from halftime to overtime, but let's turn some time over to Chelsea.
Well, the good thing is that I talk fast. So this is going to be really good. I'm so glad and honored to be on after Neel, who is a dear friend of mine. He set this next segment up perfectly. It's like chef's kiss. It's going to be perfect. So, couple things I want to share with you specific to Instagram and some big, huge, giant changes that are going to be so positive for anybody who is on this call, as long as you know what to do with them. Okay. So the first thing that I want to share is, as we know, Instagram, TikTok, everything that you can imagine has become a search engine. But did you know that Instagram is now the second biggest search engine in the world? Almost twice as many daily searches as YouTube, almost twice as many daily searches as Amazon, way above TikTok and way above ChatGPT. Yes, a lot of people are using GPTs and AI to search, and the exponential growth, like how long it took GPT to get there, is really, really short. But it blew my mind to find out that Instagram is literally the second biggest, right after Google. And I'm telling you this because we usually think of search kind of as its own separate thing. And we also think of it as a bonus. It's nice to have. But what's happening is that there's so much content flowing into every single platform now. There's a couple of things that are happening, and a lot of these things are really discouraging you. So I'm going to explain exactly what's going on. Number one, it's no surprise, scrolling through the gram, that you are seeing a bunch of content from people you don't know. I, a couple weeks ago, did a little impromptu experiment. I opened up my Instagram feed. I called my BFF. I had her open her Instagram feed and her husband's. So we had 3 phones. I go, I have something I want to look at. I want us to literally write 1 through 25. We went through 25 posts. We scrolled on our home feed. You guys, out of 25 posts that I scrolled through, I am a heavy engager in my community, okay? So I actually talk to people on a regular basis. Do you know how many of those posts were people that I talk to on a regular basis in DM? One. Do you know how many ads I got? 1. I was shocked. I was like, whoa, it's got to be more ads. My friend had 3. The majority of what I saw in my feed was broken down into 2 categories. 1, people that I don't know and don't follow, recommendations based on what I might be interested in discovering, right? That's based on my behaviors. The other group was groups or people or accounts that I follow, but I don't know. Like, not like Neel. Neel and I know each other, and so I engage with his content. This would be like if I followed Sarah Blakely or Mel Robbins, and I like their content, but I don't engage with them like I do with actual friends like Amy and Joe and Neel. Why am I telling you this? I'm telling you this because there's nothing wrong with your content. It's not broken. What has changed massively is how we, as people who use these apps, engage with content, because you don't engage with people you don't know and don't follow. And so, what does that mean? Number one, it means that people are silently consuming. They're still out there. They really are. And even if I never like any of your stuff, if I watch it longer than something else, I will see more of you. So I'm telling you this, one, to let you know that engagement hasn't just gone off the deep end and dropped. It's changed drastically because these platforms are pushing more discovery-based content. You want to hear another shocking statistic? This came out April of 2025. Meta did an FTC hearing and gave their own internal data in a slide. And here's what it said. This is how much time we spend with friends' content in the feed. When I go to Instagram, on average, this is what their data shows, that I will only spend 7%, single digit, 7% of my time spent on Instagram, by the numbers, is going to be with friends' content. Whoa, no wonder why people are missing your stuff. No wonder why we are being bombarded with all of this content. So what's the benefit? How are we going to fix it? Well, one, content alone is not going to fix that problem. What we need to do is get back to actually engaging with people, human beings, right? So I always say, number one, engage first, talk first, create second, consume last. The problem is we're stuck in create and consume. Usually it's consume, create, and then talk. But we need to shift that, because if you want to get the most results out of your content, which I'm going to give you my content formula next, what is the point of making great content if the wrong people are not seeing it? What is the point of churning out 1, 2, 3, 5 posts a week if the people in your community are not seeing it? Yes, of course, it's great that now our content goes out to new people, but you have to remember, it takes much longer for people that don't actually know us yet to start engaging. So things that you should take away from that: one, talk first, create second, consume third. You're going to have better results from your content when you are a good engager first. Number two is that social is search. And in July, next month, you guys, what is that? A couple days away now. Instagram just came out and gave a push notification to a lot of its users. I have not gotten it yet. Maybe you have. In fact, I've got a screenshot. Let me share it. You might as well see this. They gave a push notification. Can you guys see that? Let's see. Hold on. Share. Hopefully y'all can see that. That says from July 10th, 2025, search engines will automatically be allowed to show all photos and videos on results pages. What does this mean? Well, Google was the #1 search engine, right? Instagram's #2. So all of this to say, you combine those, like Instagram is being pulled and pushed into Google all over the place. And Neel even talked about this. So when you are creating content that answers people's questions, you are more likely to show up in search inside of Instagram and outside of Instagram, okay? So that's really important to know, that searchability, what is searchable? Well, what do we search for? We search usually for answers to questions. We don't usually type in keywords. We don't search by keywords. We search for what we're curious about, or questions to, or answers to our questions. Okay, so let's talk about what are we doing with content on Instagram now. Yes.
Hey, Chelsea, really quick. Have you guys ever been to Grimaldi's and eaten pizza and just been like, dude, I just can't wait to come back and eat more Grimaldi's pizza? That was my experience last night. We are currently 5 minutes over, and Chelsea is too good because our numbers are just dropping as people are hitting their schedule. So Chelsea, if you could share something really quick, and then we need to circle right back with you and get you booked for full like 40 minutes on RocketFuel, because I know what you're going to share is going to be too good. So I just don't want people to miss out. We just need to find a time on your schedule. So hit us with something fire, and then sadly, guys, today's just been too awesome. So we're going to get everyone a recording of this as well. So Chelsea, leave us with something great, and then let's get you rescheduled. I would be so excited
to come back, because you're not going to want to miss the framework that I have. But
100%.
Ultimately, what you need to know is that no matter how much content you're posting, if you're not actually showing up and engaging, the person who's posting 5 times a week and not really engaging at all is not going to have the same results as the person who is heavily engaging and posting more minimally, like once, maybe twice a week. So take the stress off from only creating content. And like Neel mentioned, you can create one really amazing, awesome, becoming the resource, high value reel a week, and spend the rest of your time talking to people. Because what's happening right now is that they have moved away from community focused to interest focused. Facebook literally said in that hearing, we are no longer just like a community friendship based platform. We're here to be discovery and entertainment. So the way that we circumvent that is that we have to create the community. And I know that everybody here would rather talk to the people that are their top clients, prospects, past clients, referral partners, ancillary partners, than make a video every day. Listen, I'm going to give you the content plan where if you want to make a video a day, I'm telling you exactly why. you need to follow this plan because I know y'all are making content and you're getting real discouraged these days because you're like, I'm pumping out really high value content. I am really teaching people about the market, and guess what? It's crickets out there. The framework I'm going to give you is going to diagnose that. So the next time we come together, I'm going to tell you exactly why that is happening, even though you are showing up with high value content.
Chelsea, wait, somebody just said though, could you just clarify something on the engagement piece? And I would actually like to better understand it myself. Is it people that you're following or following you, or are you just going into your search and you're finding like your ideal client or avatar, and then you're engaging with those people? Who are you doing the engaging with?
So I would say always start with who you know, right? Can you go and talk to people that are commenting on other people's posts that you know, but you don't know those commenters? Sure. But I always say start with people that you know. Start with your community, because a lot of people don't think of social media as a CRM or a database. They think it is a content machine, when in reality it's a context machine. And 25 years ago, y'all, we did not have context. You had a database, but when you sent out an email to everyone, you had literally no idea what was going on in anyone's life. I can hop over to Facebook and I can see what have my clients recently shared. Is it a birthday, anniversary, happy Father's Day they just recently celebrated? I now have context to then create a moment of them feeling seen, supported, heard, etc. And I don't even have to do that on social media. I can do that offline. I could send them a card. I could send them crumble cookies. I could literally not even post on social media ever and still use it as a CRM that has a lot of context. So engagement really, in my mind, is for the people that are already in your community. Always start there. Because why go wider when you can go deeper? And you and I all know the deeper you go, the more referrals you get. It doesn't mean that you can't go wide or that there's one strategy better than the other, but why not go deep with the people that you already actually have instead of worrying about, let me try to get new people, new people, new people, new people. So there are ways, like Neel said, trial reels, etc., to get out in front of new people. But my engagement really focuses on the people that are in my community first. And then, yeah, you can absolutely, I would say, start with people you know and their posts, and see the people you don't know engaging with those posts, because at least you now know you have people in common. And that's a way to expand your network without going just like, let me do a search and let me search a hashtag and see what a random post is, because it takes a lot of time to build a relationship, because small talk does lead to big talk. So it's going to be weird if I try to start commenting on all this stuff and you've never seen me before or met me.
So good. So good. We would obviously, like what Joe said, we would love to have you back. So sorry for the time being cut short, guys, but we hope that you guys have found a lot of value in halftime. We have the greatest opportunity ahead of us to end 2025 the way we wanted to start it from the beginning. And this has been the perfect shift for that. One of my favorite quotes, if you maybe have heard me say it before, is hype is common, but endurance is rare. So it's super easy right now when we've had these 4 killer speakers to hype us up, to get us excited about the way that we could be implementing a lot of these strategies into our business. But endurance is, staying the course, actually implementing what they've been sharing, staying connected to community, like both Neel and Craig mentioned, like really finding your tribe and enduring through the market that we're in together as a community. So stay connected with United. We've dropped in the chat where you can catch the recording from today, and we're going to have Chelsea back for a full session, which I'm very excited about. Joe, any last remarks from you?
No, it's just so good. I think, like anything, guys, this, no matter how good of notes you took, this has to be reviewed. And I would break it up and I would just go, let me watch what Emma said again. Let me watch what Craig said again. Let me watch what Neel said. And then obviously that little taste we got from Chelsea, there'll be more coming. The recording is going to be posted, I believe, on our...
It's in the chat. It's in the chat.
It's in the chat, yep. So we've got a place on our website for it. So anyways, I'm just excited to review. I've already got a few action plans going.
Awesome. Thank you, everybody, for being a part of us today. And thank you, Chelsea. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Chelsea.